Hey guys, I'm back with the video on reloading for my precision bench rest rifle. It's a 308 caliber, and in the beginning, the first part to this few videos that I'm going to be making, I was just talking about the cases, and I was deep priming the fired primer, and I went ahead and I cleaned all the cases, ran it through the tumbler, and now they're all ready. Right here they've been primed. I'm using a Winchester primer, so they are ready to go. I'm just kind of like loading them up with the with 42 grains of Varget powder, and I'm in the middle of it now, charging each case. And basically I just want to let you guys see the precision of this reloading scale, the Gen Pro 250. I have a few videos on it, but I just want to show all everybody that's into reloading. This is the scale to go. If you really want to make sure that what you have on your cases is the grain that you are exactly putting in there, this is the way to go. This is the instructions right here. And let me see if I can find this real quick. Let me see. I'll look for it later. But right now, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom the camera in. I'm loading each case with 42 grains of Varget powder, and basically how I use it is I have the Reddings trickler, and I have my powder dispenser set up right about maybe it's right here, right about I would say about maybe to dump about 41.80 grains of powder, and then I use the trickler to get really close, possibly like 3 to 5 grains from 42 grains, and then I use the tonsils that came with the scale, and I have on this little cap of the powder dispenser little pebbles where I pick them manually and I put them in there, and I can see the scale change when it goes to 82. It's right on the money. These scales are meant to be plugged up for a very long time before you start using them. I've had it plugged up since this morning, and it's working fine. On and off, I check with the different weights that I have here, the calibration, and it's staying right on there. So basically a good way that I even wrote on the table, and let me see if you guys can see that, on the weights that I use to keep this scale calibrated. What I do is on the 30 grain weight, okay, if I have it, I usually keep testing it, the scale on and off as I'm reloading. But when I first calibrated for the first time, I used my 20 grain 20 grams weight and the 30 gram weight. So what I do is when I use the 30 grams weight and I have the scale set on grains, listen to this real good, I set the scale on grains, which is what I'm weighing for right now, 42 grains of Varget, but I constantly on and off check my the precision of it with my 20 grain weight. I got a 20 grain weight and a 30. So when I put the 30 grain weight on there and I have the scale set in grains, let me go back, man. 20 grams. These weights, they come in grams. This is a 20. This is a 30. These are the ones that came with my RCBS 750. They're pretty good, so I've kept them and I use them. And these are two that I bought when I bought the Gen Pro 250. It's a 50 gram weight and a 20 gram weight. So let's go back to this because it's a little bit confusing. I set the scale for grains, which is what we wait for. We powder, it's weighed in grains. So I set it in grains, the scale for the setting for grains, but I weigh it with the 20 and 30 grams weight. So when I have it on the grain setting, I put the 20 gram weight on there, and it's supposed to give me 308.65 grains. That is like if you were to convert 20 grams, okay, into grains, that's what it gives you. And that it is that precise. So on and off, as I'm reloading, I'll go ahead and throw the and I'll show you guys in a little bit. Let's go ahead and take this dish of powder that I have with powder in here. And right now, let's go ahead and let's start from the beginning. Let's go ahead and tear it out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put on there. Let me show you guys so you guys can see it really up close. I'm gonna go ahead and put the 20 gram weight on there. Okay, and it goes to, let's zoom in a little bit better. It goes to 3.0865. Okay, now if I put the 30 gram weight, it's gonna go to 462.95. So what I do is every time I load up like 5-6 cases, in between I put my weight in the pan to make sure it's staying on there. Even though when I take it off, okay, see how the dish it's on here? Let me back it up a little bit. The dish is on here, but the dish, I zeroed it. It's teared off. So meaning that it's not sensing the weight of the dish. It's just at 0 now. So every time I take this off to dump the powder into my case, another way of checking it, it always goes to a negative of 166.40. So for whatever reason, if I'm loading 2 or 3 cases, and once I take the dish full of powder to pour it in the case, if I see that it doesn't stay at 166.40 and it'll go to 166.43 or 45, I know that it's gone out of calibration. These scales are very sensitive to radioactive conditions nearby. You shouldn't be reloading near the kitchen where your microwave is, your air conditioning vent, static. They're very sensitive to movement, all that. So yeah, they're very precise, but they could be a little tedious if you're not ready for them. But I'd rather deal with all that to make sure I'm getting 42 grains of powder in each case, precise. So you see it's staying at, let's put this back on here. Okay, it went to 0. You take it off, 166.40. You put it back, it goes to 0. So if I take this off with the powder in it to dump it in the case, I keep an eye on it. Make sure it's at 166.40 negative. I put this back and it goes to 000 positive. Okay, if I want to make sure, I put my 20 gram weight, and I have the scale set for grains, but my 20 gram weight gives me 308.65 all the time. See that? You can take it off and it'll go to 0. Now I put the 20 gram weight on it and it'll go to 3.8.65. And you can do the math, and that's what, if you convert 30 grams to grains, that's the math right there. That's what it gives you. Okay, and if you try it with a 30-gram weight and you do the math, it's the same thing. It's at 0. I'm gonna put my 30-gram weight on there, and it's gonna give me 462.95 grains. So I use either weight. Normally I use the 20 because it's a little bit smaller. And as I'm reloading, I know that it's staying right on point because of that. Okay? So I just wanted to show you guys that. How I check my scale as I reload. Okay? Even this other, it's a little different. See, these are two different weights. They're both 20 grams and they weigh the same. 308.65. Okay, now let's put the other one that's a little different. $308.65. Now remember, these are not certified weights. If you really want to be precise, even though they're pretty close, but if you want to make sure that you have a weight that is precise to whatever grams weight it is, you need to get a certified one, and that they go for more money than your standard ones. But I go with the standards. They're pretty right on point. Even these two different 20 grams weights, the scale reads it the same. All right, so I just wanted to show you guys that, and we're gonna come back now and we're gonna do a little bit of reloading with weighing some powder, just so you guys can see how it goes.